Awards are back, but this year they're hitting the road. Instead of the winners coming to us, we are taking this trophy to them. Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Gotera and welcome to the 2025 Houston Sports Awards Nominees and Honorees Special. Over the next 10 or 15 minutes, we will unveil the nominees in all 7 categories being featured in this year's Sports Awards programming. And I'm going to be joined by Fox 26 Sports Director Will Kunkel. This year, KRIV Fox 26 is partnering with us as our television partner. But before we get to the nominees, let me explain a few things at how this year's award show is going to look a little different. In the past, the Houston Sports Awards have been handed out on one night in front of a live audience. Well, this year, it will be a largely digitally driven campaign, and the winners will be announced over a whole week, January 13th through the 17th on Fox 26 and our social media channels. Also, fans will be allowed to vote in not just the high school categories like last year, but in all the categories. The fan vote winner in each category will receive one additional vote in the final tabulation. Houston area media members will once again vote on the winners. All these details can be found on our website, houstonsportsawards.org. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's bring in Sports Director from Fox 26, Will Kunkel. Will, welcome in as part of our show.
Appreciate you having me. I feel like we did the Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth slide in there.
I did. We just didn't have the chair for you to slide in on. Look, you've been in Houston now for what?
About a year now.
About a year. You
Yep.
covered the Sports Awards last year. Kind of a cool experience getting to see all these people recognized,
Gosh, yeah.
right?
I mean, you guys put together an unbelievable show. All tux, red carpet. It was an absolute blast. But now that I get to do this, I like this better because it's a lot more calm and relaxing.
Yeah, that's right. We don't have to wear ties or tuxedos out there on the red carpet. So, like I said, we're going to unveil the nominees, and we're going to start with the Female High School Athlete of the Year category. Let's start with the nominees in that category being Justice Carlton, Seven Lakes High School. She is a fine basketball player. Lillian Harden, Bridgeland High School, track and field. Riley Rayome, The Woodlands High School, wrestling, one of the top wrestlers in the state. Ella McDowell, Foster High School. She's a softball player who plays at Arkansas right now. And Cassie O'Brien, Cinco Ranch High School, my alma mater.
Shout out.
Volleyball player. She is committed to play at Kentucky. Awesome nominees there. We got to surprise 12 of these nominees in the high school categories, 15 total, but over the last month we've been airing them on Fox 26, rolling them out little by little, so it's kind of cool to see their surprises in person.
To see them react the way they have and have as much fun and joy in those moments and to have all their hard work pay off has been awesome, and to be having it on Fox 26 even that much more special.
Yeah, and some of them we had to do on Zoom because they had already gone to school, right? So we were trying to make sure we get this all lined up, and anyway, it was pretty cool. All right, Will, take it away. You're up for the Male High School Athlete of the Year category.
The Male High School Athlete of the Year Award. Here are the 5 nominees. Jelani Watkins, Atascocita, track and field. Not only that, a 2-sport athlete, football as well. Chris McDermott, Booker T. Washington, a star on the basketball court. Then on the baseball field, out of Tomball, Cade Aaron Beatty. And then Jonah Williams representing Galveston Ball, playing both football and baseball. And finally, on the pitch, Seven Lakes star Aiden Morrison. All these boys representing their schools extremely well this year.
Yeah, a couple of state champions in there. Jelani is at LSU right now. He's playing on the football team. He's going to plan on running on track and field.
Stud.
Aiden won the state championship with Seven Lakes, back-to-back state championships at Seven Lakes. National champions too, I believe, out there in Katy. So that was pretty impressive.
So you notice not only are they good, but their teams are good.
Teams are good.
You got to be on a good team.
And Cade Aaron Beatty, also an LSU guy. He won a state championship at Tomball, so that's pretty cool too.
That's pretty awesome. And to go right down the street with a lot of LSU fans in the area, pretty cool to represent kind of a lot of fan base here in Houston.
Yeah, Cade was one of the actually top-ranked catchers at his position in the MLB draft, but he decided to go to LSU. See, that's a pretty great program. So you could have gone either way, and that's good. It's good to have options, right?
I wish I had options at that point.
Yeah.
Cade, my man, nice job, buddy.
All right, next up, Coach of the Year nominees at the high school level. Will, I'll let you take those as well.
All right, shout out to Krista Williams-Yates out of Kingwood, head coach of the softball team. And then you have Doug Rush up in Tomball representing their baseball team. Head coach of the basketball Hitchcock boys team, Chris Jordan Foster. And then representing Atascocita and track and field, their head coach Elton Irvin. And then finally, last but not least, certainly Willie Gaston out of North Shore, their head football coach. And finally, to have those coaches representing these men and women, not only on the field, but off the field, turning them into adults in society, something certainly special. These guys do a lot of great work.
Yeah, again, state champions amongst that bunch. Doug Rush at Tomball, champions with Kate Aaron Beatty, Elton Irvin. The Atascocita 4x100 team set a national high school record with the fastest time ever made in that event at the UIL State Championship.
That's what's so fun about doing these awards. It's like these are legit stars, legit athletes across the state, across the country. Like they represent Houston as well as any athlete does in America.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Willie Gaston, we know he played at North Shore. Now he's coaching North Shore over there. Chris Jordan Foster is a Hitchcock guy. We surprised him in front of his team. He's a native. He played at the school. Now he's coached him to back-to-back state championships. And then Crystal Williams Yates, she at Kingwood pulled off one of the biggest upsets in last year's softball season, beating Katy, who was #1 ranked team in the country.
All these athletes, all these coaches will remember this year for the rest of their lives. And these athletes, you could look back at high school and you're like, those were the days.
Yeah.
So everybody that's still partaking, whether you're a sophomore or junior, like embrace this. Wrap your arms around it because you'll never have a time like this again.
And one of the cool things we're doing this year is actually adding little biographies for the voting, for the media voting, and for those folks that are voting at home and the fan vote. That way you kind of get a little bit of a spotlight on what they actually did, because sometimes, there's a lot going on in Houston.
Yeah.
And so that way you can actually read what they did and kind of make up your mind and see what athlete is deserving.
I like that. You don't just go on name recognition. You can learn a little bit as well.
That's what we were trying to do here. All right, 4 categories left for this nomination special. The Houston Sports Awards right around the corner, unveiling these winners in January. Next up, Will's going to announce the nominees in the Community Impact category.
Honored to do this one. I love this one because these coaches give so much to the athletes, but their work doesn't stop there. It gets into the community, it helps the city of Houston, and it helps people that are also in need. So shout out to Frank Ross, the special teams coach for the Houston Texans. This man has helped the homeless in several ways over the year with Coaches Cut. AJ Edinson of Special Olympics Texas as well, and the Knockout Factory's own, the boxing gym on Houston's east side. All of these helping the community in Houston, off the field, out of the ring, however they do it has been awesome.
Yeah, AJ's story is actually pretty incredible because AJ has been working with Special Olympics all the way back to her time when she was young and growing up in the Northeast. Then she moved down to Houston, continued her work with Special Olympics. She's the executive director of the East region here in Texas. She does amazing work. I've been to Special Olympics events with her, and all these athletes just run up to her and give her a big hug. And that's the kind of impact that this kind of award is meant to be. And the Knockout Factory, folks on the East End know about this place, getting kids off of the street after school, make sure they keep their mind off of things that could distract them and keep them focused on something while staying physically fit is awesome.
And so many people hear boxing, they think violence. Boxing is all about self-control and respect, and filling kids' time to stay off the street is so important, especially today. And I love it because they're active, not playing video games all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right about that. Okay, now we're going to let the actual moments do the talking for themselves. Moment of the Year, always a fun category at the Houston Sports Awards. Here are the 5 nominees as you heard it as they happened.
Got him for the 4th year in a row. In the 7th consecutive full season, the Astros are the AL West champion. Speed, great hands. This receiving icon had it all. Andre Johnson.
Everybody fight to that last play. Yeah. That's what it's about, man. And we punched our ticket.
The fastest run of the rodeo, 2-2.
No. It's even more than that. It's the arena record.
Tough to top those moments, right? 5 of the best you'll see across the country in each individual sport. We had to leave some off the list. We're in Houston. We have so many cool things happening here. But right there, those 5 are really good.
I mean, you talk about the best sports moments in Houston. Those are the best moments in the world when it came to sports. Simone Biles stole the heart of everybody across the entire world, and she is one of our own here. I just love that the high school athletes here are so special, and then they go on to do some amazing things at the biggest level, and then we get to talk about it and represent it.
And also, it's pretty cool to shine the spotlight on the athletes that compete at Rodeo Houston. Macy Young with her record-breaking performance. You had a fun experience this year at the rodeo, didn't you?
So my first year, my wife and I went. We went a lot. We loved it. So much fun. Shout out to the musicians as well, because they made it so much fun.
Yeah.
Everybody that works with that event made it special, especially the athletes, of course.
And sometimes the athletes gets overlooked because of all the fun entertainment that's happening, but man, they put on a show every night. So again,
and the Mutton Busters kids, I mean, every night, so funny to watch.
I know. So shout out to Macy Young. Congratulations on being nominated. All right, next up, a really, really special category, the Inspiration Award. Last year, we had a coach from Kingwood Park High School who had battled cancer, came back to coach with the team. It was a great moment. He got on stage, thanked the whole city for supporting him, and this is also a fun award.
Talking to that man on the red carpet last year was awesome, because the perspective that he brought was different than it just being about sports. It's about life. It's about the impact you have, and then what you have to go through to overcome, like in sports, but for real, for real. It was really cool that night.
All right, here are the nominees for the Inspiration Award at the Houston Sports Awards. Damon West, motivational speaker. Greg Jones, George Ranch High School disabilities track coach and also football coach. And finally, the Houston Dash Moms. Get to that one in a second. Let's start with Damon, a former college quarterback. Damon turned to drugs after school and wound up being sentenced to prison for his crimes. Now, he's turned his life around, delivering his Be a Coffee Bean message as a motivational speaker to football programs, companies, and prisoners, hoping to inspire them to live their best life. The Houston Dash Moms. In 2024, the Houston Dash had 3 of their players return to the field of play after giving birth to their babies. Wow. Ryan Gariz, Katie Lynn, and Alicia Chapman proved that family and sports can truly coexist. Their determination to both inspiring teammates and fans. And finally, Greg Jones. I met Greg a long time ago. I'm so glad that he's nominated this year, because Greg coached football his whole life, but then he started working with athletes with disabilities at George Ranch. His connection with a former student has led to years of inspirational work. All right, 3 worthy nominees there in that Inspiration Award category. I've known a couple of those folks for a long time, and boy, they just do so much good work that's worth recognizing.
And to use their trials and tribulations for good is so awesome, to help other people. And I love this category because, shameless plug, incoming right now, I do a show called Kicking It with Kunkel. It's on Fox.
And now's your time. Now's your time to do
it. It's on
it.
the Fox local app. And I talk to athletes all the time about their life, how they got to where they are. You know, so often we see the Instagram post of "I made it."
Yeah.
A lot went to getting there, and a lot they overcame to get where they were. So really cool award right there.
Yeah, shout out to the moms in the Houston Dash,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
All of them back on the field practicing, playing in games. So congratulations to them on a good season. All right, let's get to the final category of the Houston Sports Awards, the one where the names in that category are the most recognizable. Athlete of the Year. Will, you take the first 3, I'll take the final 3.
All right, these are some of the biggest names in all sports, not just in Houston, but they do represent us. And let's start with your Houston Rockets, back on the map from a national perspective, and Alpern Şengün carrying the torch for the boys. And then UH basketball, back in the dance last year, gonna be back in the dance, my prediction again this year. But unfortunately, we'll be without Jamal Shed, who is now living out his dream in the NBA. And Simone Biles, need I say more? Team USA.
It's going to be hard to beat Simone Biles after what she did in Paris, right? All right, the final 3 nominees in this category are Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros, Coco Carrasquilla of the Houston Dynamo, and Will Anderson Jr. of the Houston Texans. So let's start with Will. And Will's been so impressive. He's really finding his groove out there. His role on this team is defined. Boy, on the field, he's been electric.
First of all, elite name, no relation though, but the
Yeah, I
dude's
don't know about that part.
absolute stud and a better human being off the field.
Yeah.
So I love this nomination, and all of these names, they play a significant role in their team's success, and they're such big parts of the Houston community. Again, they don't just play and then disappear and go somewhere else. They all are around here all the time helping out.
Yeah, Jamal Shed, runner-up to the National Player of the Year. He's worth recognizing as well. And then Coco Carrasquilla, too, helped the Dynamo get to back-to-back playoff appearances.
And then Yordan Alvarez, like, where are the Astros without him?
Yeah.
Every one of these athletes
And
has done so
Şengün
much.
has been
Oh,
great.
gosh,
New
yeah.
contract.
World star right there.
He should be paying all of our bills at this point. All right, shout out to him. All right, before we go, though, we have to give some love to Janice McNair, who is our Lifetime Achievement Award winner this year. Janice has been a pillar of the community, not just because her and her husband brought football back to Houston, but because of all the stuff they do in the community.
And for Hannah and Cal to continue to carry that torch, to not only give us successful winning football right now, but to also have the work that they do in the community, making the McNair family proud. It's such an honor to be around and get to know them. Really
Yeah, it was great to be able to be with her, to tell her the news, because we went to a Texans game and actually presented the trophy
How cool.
to her, and she was so appreciative. She was so thankful. So super sweet lady. I've always liked Janice McNair, so congratulations to her and the family. All right, that wraps it up. 2025 Houston Sports Awards nominees and honorees. Good luck to those nominees. Fans, start voting. That's what you got next.
Remember, if you don't vote, you can't complain. Gotta vote.
Exactly. We will see you in January on Fox 26 with Will as we unveil the winners. Till then, have a good one.